we're Roy and Karen, and this is historic Fernandina Beach. Hi, we're Roy and Karen, and this is Fernandina Beach. Hi, we're Roy and Karen, and here we are at Peters Point County Park on Amelia Island. Hi, we're Roy and Karen.
And we're
with Colton, Yukon at Huguenot State Park. Hi, we're Roy and Karen, and this is historic Mayport. Hi, we're Roy and Karen, and this
where the heck are we, honey?
is Kathryn Hanna State Park. Hi, we're Roy and Karen, and this is our week in the villages.
Was it?
Nope.
Nope. This was a week of being away from the villages. Mm-hmm. But stay to the end so we can tell you how we felt about coming back to the villages. So before we go any further, we got a super thanks again this week from Land Girl GB. You'll see her name up there. So generous. So thank you so much. If you guys don't know what this is, it's a way for you guys to give us a monetary thanks for what we do. So this was our first real trip with our new RV. We drove from the villages out to the East Coast to Daytona Beach. And we made our way up north. So Daytona, Ormond, Flagler, and then finally we ended the day at St Augustine. So I thought that as we drove through each beach community, I could feel the differences between them. Daytona had a bigger city feel. It almost reminded me of the Las Vegas Strip. Almost. Not quite. No lights and that kind of thing. But a lot of people walking around and a lot of little motels and this and that.
And we were there during Bike Week.
But when we got to Ormond, it became more sparse, more single-family homes, and the view to the beach was unobstructed. By the time we got to Flagler, to me it felt like almost a combination of the two. There were more bars in Flagler, and the bikers were out, but the beach was beautiful. And the sand definitely took on a whole new character there. Look where we are, honey.
We're just working our way up the Florida beaches. Started at Daytona, got to Ormond, and now here we are at Flagler Beach.
It's beautiful here. Now we did pick Bike Week. Yep. You can't control everything, so you probably are hearing the bikers behind us. And but the beach is just gorgeous.
Great day for it.
It's beautiful. It's about 72 degrees, nice and breezy. Yep. You can see the wind blowing through my hair.
Sunshine.
It's
my
nice.
Honey.
Mwah. That golden Flagler beach sand. And we just had lunch overlooking the water, hanging out in the RV. The boys did really good this time. We buckled them in and they just slept the whole way. It was great.
They're figuring it out.
Let's go to, let's see if we can find the pier.
All right.
That might be it over there. Might be. One of the things that we have loved the most about having an RV is being able to spot a really nice place, a really beautiful location, and just pull over to the side of the road, enjoy that scenery, and have a meal. And that's what happened. I don't know if it was in Ormond or as we were coming into Flagler, but we just happened to see a beautiful view of the ocean. We found a place to pull over and we had lunch. It was really nice. And it reminded me of another one of those reasons I love having an RV.
We are walking into historic St. Augustine, where we've never been. And
We just walked through the gate, the city gate.
the old city gate.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah, it's a trolley tour. We're not going to do that.
Oh my goodness, there's a lot of people
Yeah,
here.
for Thursday. Still
It's
plenty
Thursday?
of people. It's Thursday. I
March.
like her hair. I want my hair like that.
Oh, like that? Yeah, me too. So, Thursday, March
9th.
9th. Okay.
Lots of people, lots of stuff to look at.
I wonder if that's the oldest wooden schoolhouse. I don't know. I was right.
You were.
Maybe you guys don't know what St. Augustine's history is. Let me read this just a little bit to you, just a little bit. It was founded in 1565 by the Spanish, and it is the oldest continuously inhabited European established settlement in the continental United States.
Have a lot of character. They've done
It
a
was
good job
wonderful.
preserving it, but bringing in things that interest current day people.
We watched YouTube videos about St. Augustine, and one of the places that was mentioned by multiple YouTubers was Hippo ice pops. So when I saw it, I said, oh, I'm hoping they got sugar-free in there. I really want one of these suckers.
So the question is, do you have any that are sugar-free?
You regrettably do not, sir.
Oh, you did it so much better the second time. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Sorry about
Now they did have a bunch of different hot sauce places, and I'm a sucker for hot sauces. I'm always looking to tempt my taste buds to see how much they can stand. They didn't get much.
It's hard to challenge us when we have ghost pepper on almost every dinner.
Yeah, they were pretty mild, but we did find out about we don't know if it's Datil or Datil, depends on who you talk to, but there is a pepper that was brought over here, I guess by the Spaniards, that they picked them up in Menorca.
So, what kind of pepper now?
The Datil pepper is the
I
native.
never heard of it.
It's the native pepper to Florida. It was brought here by the Menorcans, native tribe. It's like a habanero, but sweet like a bond scotch, and 90% of all of them grow here from Jacksonville, St. Augustine.
Wow, we could not have picked a better day to spend time in St. Augustine. This is really
And
nice.
there's just so much there. I wouldn't hesitate to go back. And this time, I might get that dress.
Oh, she found this dress. I thought she should get it. And she should have got all the jewelry that was on it. But she passed. So we walked across the street to Castillo de San Marcos, which means St. Mark's Castle.
Have you got any idea where we are, honey?
Nope.
We are at the Castillo de San Marcos National Monument.
What a cool place.
And it says, keep off the moat stairs. Those people are down in the moat, honey.
Yeah, they must have really done something bad.
Hope we can figure out why we're here. What's this thing famous for? Do you guys know?
First masonry built fort in the United States.
Ah,
Nice to know. Thank you. Well, there you go.
Oldest masonry fort in the continental United States. Construction began in 1672 and it completed in 1695.
and that's where you got your first birthday present.
I got my lifetime senior National Parks Pass. Been wanting to get that for a while.
Now he has it.
We enjoyed walking around the fort. It was really interesting. You could go into each of the rooms and learn a little bit of their lifestyle at that time.
Yeah, we didn't take the recorded tour, so
No.
we didn't get all those details, but there was a person that was entering right before us, had some good input.
So what do you think? Nice, calm, relaxing day.
Strolling after all that drive time. It's nice to be up and moving.
The boys did really good on this trip.
They understand what's wet.
They napped the whole time on the couch while we were driving.
When they get back after being gone for a few hours, we'll find out if they ate the couch.
Okay, well, it's their couch too.
And again, another one of those places I think we'll come back to another time and more fully immerse ourselves. So we hit the road again, and this time we hit the road to our first campground, which is Huguenot Memorial City Park. This is a City of Jacksonville campground, and it's located right between a bay and the ocean. We did pull in and the sun was just starting to set, and the sunset was gorgeous. It was spectacular.
And surrounded by water and...
So this was also my first time leveling the RV, which it's also my first time ever really leveling any RV we've ever owned. I just always said, it's close enough. But I decided to buy a leveling system, and I bought an electronic leveling thing you put on the floor. Well, what I didn't take into consideration is sand. And I was able to get the rear up, but the front just slid on the sand. It was very funny. But it was a learning experience for me.
Good morning.
Good morning. How is everybody? It is Friday morning, is that correct? And we are at a campground
Right next to the Navy base.
right next to the Navy base, and they do maneuvers all day long and
All night long.
It seemed like it was all night long. The helicopters were coming over, and when they came over, the whole RV shook.
It's a nice location. The spaces have space.
Yeah, lots of space.
Usually when you're right on the beach like this, it's a parking lot. Everybody's lined up right next to each other. So we have some space, which is nice, but it's noisy.
But the boys were a lot better.
Yes, they are
That-
definitely adapting,
Yeah.
sleeping right here, which is content.
I took them on a poop walk this morning, and everything came out fine.
That's always good.
It didn't work like that the first time. They're not accustomed to doing that on a leash.
Yeah.
We just let them go in the backyard and they're happy. So for them to get acclimated this well on the second trip, the second go around, they're just over here taking a nap right now.
They were a little nervous on the journey over,
A
but
little.
they adapted pretty good. Being confined to the couch, they now knew what the expectation was. So
And then we left them in the RV while we walked around St. Augustine yesterday.
Because the
And-
climate or the weather was nice.
Beautiful. We opened up all the windows, opened up the skylights, and it was about 72 degrees out there. It was perfect. So, what's the plan for today?
Today we're talking about going up to Amelia Island and Fernandina Beach. Never been to either one of those places either.
Sounds like a really nice place to spend the day. So that's our idea. Our idea of RVing isn't really sitting in the campground. It really is more, the RV is a facilitator to make travel easier, for us to have our adventures and know that we can bring the boys with us.
And do a little business when necessary, because sometimes you just have to answer your phone and take care of it.
And they've got a front street right here to start off.
The historic downtown of Fernandina Beach.
That's what I was gonna say, but she said it's so much better. This place is just so nice. You know what I think? You got a new hat.
Yep, I think you're gonna go get one too.
I'm gonna go get myself a new hat. Now we both have new hats?
Yes, we do. Part of the Amelia Angler Outfitters.
There you go.
We're now outfitted.
The other thing that we got was ice cream. This is what I do. I go into all these ice cream shops, ice pop shops, candy shops, and I say, you got anything that's sugar-free? And they always say no.
And they're like, why would anyone want that?
Yeah, they always say no. And this guy said, oh, I got something with no sugar added.
Butter pecan.
Butter pecan.
So where are we?
Amelia Island.
Oh, we're in
Oh,
Amelia.
you mean the store? Sorry. It's called the Cinnamon Bear Country Store. Sorry.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what are we getting?
You get
Butter
no sugar
pecan?
added butter pecan.
Wait, do you call them pecans or pecans?
Pecans.
Okay.
Where y'all from?
Well, I'm from New York, so I talk funny.
New York.
It's so good. It's so creamy and pecan-y and buttery. It's so good. And sugar-free.
Wow, no sugar added.
No sugar added.
I don't know if it's sugar free.
Well, no sugar added.
You went into this historic post office to mail
My
a birthday
brother-in-law
card.
birthday card.
And I saw a sign in there that it mentioned the Amelia Island Lighthouse. So we took a drive. Closed.
Darn it.
Only open on Saturdays, and this was Friday.
Oh wow.
So another place we need to come back to. So we can walk up a couple of hundred steps.
And ride the St. John's Ferry. That wasn't running.
That wasn't running either. So after running around this little town, enjoying ourselves, we headed back to Huguenot Memorial City Beach Campground, whatever. When we got back there, it was windy. And I remember Karen saying to me, you think it's gonna rain? And I just looked out the window and I said, no. And I guess within 5 minutes it started to pour. The next morning, we got up, we took the boys for a walk, and this time we really did walk more of and check out more of the area. And it was very nice. We talked to some people who were fishing. They didn't catch anything. As a matter of fact, a lot of the places as we were driving, there's a lot of fishing over the bridges. I don't know if anyone's really catching anything. Every time we go over one of these bridges, Karen would go, oh wow, it must be some great fishing out there. It's like me. I fish so well. It's the catching I have a problem with, honey. You just don't know what's going on out there. But after we finished with Huguenot, whatever it is, I decided to head over to a Walmart on the way to our next stop, because our RV, not only was it full of dog hair, because Colt's part husky, and he just sheds 365 days a year.
It's a little nervous outside of his environment, and he sheds a little more.
But it was just filled with sand. So I ran over to Walmart, and you were doing business. She finally figured out how to do the laptop thingy and a hotspot. And I grabbed some cleaning stuff, some Swifters and things like that. And I just cleaned the whole RV out, got all the sand out, and wasn't thinking that our next campground was also on the sand. So after we got finished cleaning up, we headed over to this little town called Mayport.
Where are we going?
We're going to Singleton's Seafood Shack for my honey's birthday dinner.
Oh, this looks like just the kind of place I like to eat at. A dive.
Dive bar.
I understand they were on diners, drive-ins, and dives
Oh, we'll find out.
because of their Menorcan clam chowder.
Is that what you're going to have?
Well, I'm going to have both.
Look at the wooden boat museum.
We got to go up there.
We have to.
What's really fascinating is that this whole area over here, we're right around Jacksonville, but really I'm talking about St. Augustine. The Menorcans were brought over here back in the 1500s as indentured slaves. And they brought their Menorcan food with them, and one of those things was Menorcan Clam Chowder. So here I am talking about in prior videos how there's not just New England clam chowder and Manhattan clam chowder, but then there was that really gross Rhode Island clam chowder. But now we're finding out there's a fourth one called Menorcan Clam Chowder, and I'm about to have some. Come with me. Let's go. So we're having, well, I'm having smoked whitefish dip. What are you drinking?
St. John something.
All I know is it's got Stolies and tequila and white rum and raspberry liqueur and some other stuff in there. OMG.
A glass full of alcohol.
I'm gonna have a Bloody Mary. Talk to you later. So here we are again, having award-winning New England clam chowder and Menorcan clam chowder. You can taste those Datil peppers in there. That's what the Menorcans brought across, and it's a real thing here in this part of Florida to have Datil peppers. Okay. Now we'll have some New England clam chowder. This is award-winning. Pretty thick. Ooh, nice.
We have Menorcan clam chowder, which, by the way, it was delicious. The Datil peppers they have a very unique flavor to them. It's really, really good. Now, I did have their New England clam chowder, which is award-winning. To me, it was mashed potatoes with clams in it. Everything else we ate was delicious. What really makes this place, though, is the location. right on the water, watching the boats go by. The birds are singing to us, and it was very, very nice.
Those hush puppies are probably the best I've had.
What did you get, honey?
Fish tacos and amazing hush puppies.
This is what happens when you pre-order. Somebody brings you a key lime pie that you forgot all about ordering. I don't know how we're gonna do it. How is it?
Oh, that crust is delicious. It's fresh whipped cream. It's not spray out of the can stuff.
I can see why she took her time. There's a lot going on there. Very good. Happy birthday to me.
But Captain Ray likes to make wooden model ships, and all over the restaurant are his wooden models, and they're tremendous. They're stupendous. It was really good.
Great museum to see.
Yeah, I really like that. So after dinner, we're now heading to the next campground, which is Kathryn Abbey Hanna Park. And that's also part of the city of Jacksonville Parks, but it was in the town of Mayport. It was just down the street from the restaurant. We didn't even realize it at the time. It was really great. What was fascinating about this place was it's on almost 500 acres of what they call mature coastal hammock. And we live in the hammock of Fenny. And we're always curious about that word hammock. When you look at the pictures I'm showing, you can see, that's what a hammock is. It's a beautiful, well-forested, almost a jungle that we were staying in. It was very, very nice. One of the things we didn't think through very clearly was that when you go to a city campground, you get lots of city families.
No, we have nothing against people. It's just when we go out into nature, it got a little people-y where we were.
It did. We expected that people would want to enjoy the peace and quiet like we were looking for, and that's just not what they were there for. And this place was for them also. So it's not like we hold it against them. We're just saying it out loud just so everybody knows what to expect. But it was spring break and it was packed. The following morning, we did take a walk down to the ocean. And
we woke up hearing all the waves. It was gorgeous.
Yeah, beautiful. So we took a walk down there. There's a boardwalk. And now we have to head back to the villages, even when you're having the most glorious time. Having ice cream, going to St Augustine, and going out to this beautiful seafood restaurant. We're just enjoying our 4-day trip together with my honey. I didn't know what to expect when we got back into the villages. I think when you live in the villages for a while, and we've been here for just over a year, I think maybe you start to take it for granted. I will tell you, when we drove into the villages in our RV, and we looked around at all the landscaping, and the golf carts, and the happy people, It was that feeling that came over me, just like my first time here. How this is a magical place. I was so happy to be home.
We're home. This is our home.
And so even though the plan was, let's get the RV unpacked and get it back into storage and...
Practical, task-oriented. It's his birthday. Let's go celebrate.
I wanted to get right back into the swing of being a villager. So we headed right over to Edna's on the Green, got ourselves a bottle of wine, and then...
Let's go surfing now, everybody's learning how. Come on, go safari with me. Come on, go safari. Well, early in the morning, we'll get started now. So honeys will be coming along. We're loading up our booties with the horns inside, heading out and singing our songs. Sing along.
We're happy to be back home in the villages. Can't wait to take another trip and we'll figure out what our next adventure is going to be. If you're curious about what our RV actually looks like and the nuts and bolts of it, right over here, I'm going to link to a video tour of our RV. In the meantime,
We appreciate you stopping by.
see ya.